we talked about meeting global standards in a digital age, remember? Now, what we have to do then is to move from being analog to digital, which is what we do now. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't have any information except the information that you get from books, if you are lucky to have them. All you have to do is go on the internet, and any information under the sun is there. So that is how education is changing. It's changing from chew, poor, pass, forget, and be poor into what is it that you can do with education. That's the digital generation. So what we're going to do now is show you how we're going to raise them. Then I want to put one of these things on the screen, one of the work that you've done on the screen.
And under adjectives, examples are, I use the adjective big. The comparative is bigger, and the last one is biggest. So here too, children will be able to make sentences with them or be able to identify them in sentences.
Then we're going to have a file name for P1 and the various subjects. We're going to have a file for P2, P3, and that sort of thing. Okay? Now, what is going to make it easier is that for the headmistress, she doesn't have to carry all these books with her. And no, that's where we're going from analog to digital. Okay? But then the other thing is this. You will have access to your own work. Your own work, not someone else's, your own work. So that you can continue improving it. Just by having it on the screen. In this day and age, the amount of time that we spend copying information into notebooks, this term we do it, come the next term we do the same thing over and over again. These are the tasks that teachers hardly like to do. So the idea then is that we want to input information on the computer, and once it's saved, we can always come back and make additions. We can put in supplementary materials, we can put in the topics, subtopics, change whatever it is that we have to do. And then come the following term, we can adopt the same method, because we're going to put the format on a template so that we don't have to go back into the notebooks consistently, because that's a task that a lot of teachers don't like to do, and so they don't do it. The important thing is to have all this information available before the first day of the next term, so that right from the beginning, children understand that the teacher, him or herself, is prepared. Once that happens, we develop a culture in this whole school, knowing that we have to be on task, because we know what's expected of us in the first week, in the second week, in the third week, and so on. So what we have to do is begin to encourage people, even those who've never had computer exposure before. Once the weekly forecasts are done ahead of time, they can be printed out and then put on bulletin boards so that students can see exactly what's expected of them every week, so that they are not unnecessarily dependent on the teachers. And that's how young people begin to become lifelong learners and take their learning into their own hands.
Teachers can prepare their weekly forecast as well as their lesson notes in their convenient time. In so doing, instead of we sending 30 lesson notebooks to our teacher, it will just be 30 sheets of papers being sent to our headmistress or our headmaster for correction and other things.
Formerly, we used to write our lesson notes with pen and then weekly forecast. But now I've been able to write my lesson notes using the computer. In fact, I've been able to digitalize my lesson note now. So it will save me time, and then I'll be able to check for errors.
Instead of writing and documenting leaflets, pages, books, etc., we are digitizing everything on the computer, so that if you need any amendment, you only come to the computer, you just insert whatever remediation you want to do.